Hi everyone, welcome to your daily sadhana. My name is Hannah. I use she, her pronouns, and we'll move through about a 50-60 minute class today. For class today, it's pretty power heavy class, so we'll work into a lot of strengthening poses. And then I'll also make sure to give you the opportunity to stretch out, to soften, to ground down, sprinkled throughout the practice, and then we'll end class with a nice 10 or so minutes of more stretchy, softer poses. And if you have any props, go ahead and grab them. I always love 2 blocks, and you're welcome to use books or pillows or water bottles, really anything that will help you to bring the ground a little closer to you at times, and then we might use them for some support to balance in other poses. You can also use a wall or a couch or something just to help you find that balance when you need it. I'm all about using the resources that are around you. A lot of times we try to control things that aren't really within our control, right? So we're not really able to control what the person next to us does or what our family does or what our friends do, but we really are able to have the support within ourselves to take what we need. And that's what we'll practice on the mat today. So I invite you to really explore your practice, make it a very fluid, exploratory place to be this morning, whatever time of day it is for you, because it starts on the mat, right? A lot of us, yoga is such a broad spectrum of things, more than just the poses, more than just the physical shapes that we create. Technically, you don't even really need a yoga mat or yoga clothes to do yoga, but we often start with the poses because that, to a lot of us, feels really accessible. And so when you're on your mat and you're moving through your asanas or your physical practice, I invite you to really take what you need. Meaning, if you want to move into a more strength shape and we are on in a shape that helps to stretch out, like if you're feeling like you really want to challenge your muscles, then you can maybe lift your back knee or you can add on a little bit more. And on the flip side, if you want a stretchy, soft practice this morning or whatever time of day it is for you, then take some more options, like add in some blocks, add in some props, some pillows. And the more that you begin to advocate for yourself on your yoga mat or in your yoga space, the easier it becomes outside of your 4 corners of your mat. It becomes a little bit more easy to advocate for yourself in work, in relationships, just on our own. So I'll stop yapping at you and we can go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So crawl to the back of your mat or the back of your space. Bring your big toes together to touch, and then widen your knees towards the sides of your mat, wider than hips width distance apart. From there, sit your hips back over your heels. And go ahead and fold forward. Lower your chest down to the ground, lower your forehead down to the mat. And settle into the shape. Begin to notice how your hips feel here. Do your hips feel like they're getting a good amount of stretch? Do they feel like they're overly stretched? If so, curl your knees closer together. Or does it feel like you want more stretch in your hips? If so, widen your knees a little bit more and press your tailbone closer to your heels. And draw your awareness to your spine. If it's rounded at all, crawl your hands closer to the top of your mat. Get long through your side bodies. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Notice if you're holding a lot of tension there. And then what do your arms need right now? Maybe you keep them extended. Maybe if your triceps or your shoulders are feeling kind of sore, you can connect your palms together and bring your thumbs to the back of your neck for a nice tricep stretch. Right away, we're making choices that support our own unique practice. We're paying attention to how the poses feel in different areas of the body. And we're advocating by making adjustments to help us feel supported rather than to force ourselves into the shape. In your child's pose, take a breath in. Open mouth exhale. I really want you to feel a softening on the exhale. So take a big breath in all the way until your belly expands like a balloon. And then a big loud sigh. Let it go. Plant into your hands. Pull yourself forward to a tabletop position. Find your hands and knees. And stack your hips right underneath your knees. Stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. We'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly low. Lift your gaze. Exhale, cat. Round your spine. Push into your palms. Dome your upper back. Inhale, cow pose. Belly drops low. Gaze lifts. Exhale, cat. Round and press the ground away from you. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. 3 more rounds. Cow pose. Breathe in. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And feel free for these last 2 rounds to add anything else in. It may feel good to circle your hips around from side to side. It may feel good to lower down to your forearms or to press into your fists. Give your wrists a little relief here. And take one final round. And then plant your hands. Flip your toes so the balls of your feet are pressing into the mat. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now, downward facing dog is technically an upside down V shape. However, rather than an actual V, we want the knees to be bent. This is going to help to bring some relief to your low back. This is going to help to not overly stretch out through your hamstrings and your calves. And then it's also going to help you feel more supported in your shoulders, because with the knees bent, you can really push into your palms more to lift out of your shoulder heads. Go ahead and pedal your feet from side to side a few times. And know that you can keep your knees generously bent in every down dog that we take in class today if it feels good for you. Some of you may opt to start to straighten out your knees a little bit more as we're warming up. Know that that's welcome as well. In your downward facing dog, take an inhale, look forward to the front of your mat. And then exhale, keep your knees bent, tiptoe to the top of your space. Let's take ragdoll forward fold. So spread your feet wide, hips width distance or further apart. Grab for opposite elbows. Allow the upper body to hang heavy. And you want another generous bend in your knees here. So much so that your belly presses up against your thighs. So your knees, I'm just going to turn to the side a little bit. Your knees might be really, really bent here like this. Or maybe your knees are a little bit more straight. But we want this to land in your back. We'll get to the hamstrings in a little while. So let this forward fold be felt in your spine. And oftentimes it requires bent knees to do so. Shake your head out yes and no. And take an inhale. And exhale, settle your hands down to the ground. Toe heel your feet closer together, hips width distance or even closer. And then tuck your chin to your chest, unroll your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Come all the way up to standing, and then reach your arms over your head. With your arms high over your head, face your palms towards one another. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears, and lift your gaze up slightly out in front of you or up towards your sky or the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Tuck your knees up to your sternum and then press your palms together for Anjali Mudra. Just stand here for a moment to honor your strong body, your strong mind, and then honor the more soft things about you, the body, the mind, the spirit. Consider what brought you to your mat today, what encouraged you to tune in. Let's find some gratitude for that. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep your arms high over your head, lift your gaze. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands come through your heart center, hinge at your hips. Bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, create length in your spine. Bring your hands to your shins. Hug your shoulders down your back. And exhale, forward fold. Root down through your feet. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And we'll add on. Exhale, take an open twist to the right. Draw your right hand back. Lengthen your left arm forward out in front of you. And then think of your hips as being headlights on a car. So draw your left hip back. Pull your right hip forward. Notice what the activation through the midline does as you focus on pulling your hips back through center. Inhale, come through center. Reach your arms over your head. And exhale, open twist to the left. Reach your left hand back behind you. Extend your right arm forward. Again, pull the hips into the center of your space so your right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Inhale, back through center. Extend your arms high. Lift your gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Great length. Exhale, forward fold. Once more, inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, open twist to the right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, open twist to the left. Inhale through center. And exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, find plank or tabletop, your choice. Step back, either to the balls of your feet or knees come down to the ground. Press down through your hands by pressing down through your finger pads and your knuckles. Notice how much that lights up your forearms. And then press down to dome your upper back in your high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Once you're on your belly, bring your hands off to the sides of your mat. Tent your fingertips, point your elbows upwards. Inhale, lift your chest, intimidating cobra pose. I like to spread my feet hips width distance apart here for more support in my low back. And then press down through the tops of your feet. Dig your hip points into the mat to activate through your core. Breathe in. And exhale, release. Chin to chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Once more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower, back, down. Forehead comes to your mat. Place your hands right underneath your shoulders. Flip your toes so the tops of, or the balls of your feet are planted down. And then light up through your quads by pressing down through your toes. We'll lift up to plank pose. You can lift up to knees down or knees up. Take an inhale to prepare. And exhale, press down through the ground, lift up plank pose to downward facing dog. Once you found downward facing dog, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Let it go. On your inhale, find crouching down dog, bend into your knees, press your belly against your thighs, gaze between your thumbs. And on your exhale, option to take a little hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, rise up, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, open twist right. Inhale through center. Exhale, open twist left. Inhale through center. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plank pose. Plant your hands, step your feet back from your plank. Start to shift your shoulders forward past your wrists. Exhale, low plank. Hug your elbows into your sides. Hover your chest away from the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press down through your hands. Press down through the tops of your feet, so much so that your thighs stay lifted off of the mat. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Press your hips back. All right, we'll move on to the next series. So inhale to three-legged dog. Extend your right leg high. Check in. You can peek back at your toes. Make sure your right toes are facing down to the ground by dropping your right hip down in line with your left. And then start to point and flex a few times through your right toes. Maybe circle out through your right ankle. Press down evenly through both hands. Keep breathing here. On your inhale, lift your right heel just a little bit higher. And exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard lunge. Lower your back knee down to the ground. And then go ahead and bring your right hand onto the top of your right quad. Keep your left palm planted down. Now, if the ground feels really far away, you're welcome to bring your hand onto your book or your block or your water bottle, whatever it is. And that's just going to create a little more expansion across your chest. With your back knee down, press your hips forward slightly. Continue to pull your belly button towards your spine to protect your lower back. And then maybe you send your gaze past your right shoulder. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Good. One more inhale. And then exhale, round to half splits. Fold over your right leg. Reach your hands out in front of you. Straighten as much as you can through your right leg without forcing anything. And then fold forward. Your right foot can stay outside of your right hand. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Take a breath in. Breath out. And come back to your lizard lunge. Rebend into your right knee. If you had a block under your left hand, set it off to the side. Lift off of the back knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Reach your right leg high. And then exhale, right knee to right tricep. Tap your right knee towards your right tricep. Shift forward to your palms. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right leg high. Exhale to low lunge. Step your right foot in between your hands. You can keep your back knee lifted this time, and then take a peek at your right knee. Make sure it's directly on top of your ankle. Plant down through your left hand. Inhale, revolved side angle. Extend your right arm high. Press your chest towards your right inner thigh, and then hug your right quad in towards your belly button. Continue to push down through your left hand. Stay really active here. Inhale. And then on your exhale, use that exertion to lift off of the ground to an open twist. Extend your right arm back, left arm forward, just like we did in Sun A. And you're welcome to bend into your left knee a little bit more to create a bit more support through the back leg, the back hip. Hug your belly button closer to your right thigh. Take an inhale and an exhale. On your breath in, pull your hands to heart center, press down through both feet, make your way to Skandasana at the back of your mat. It's not an easy transition, so take your time with it. Bend into your left knee, and then you can take this more of a shallow lunge, or you can sit all the way down into Skandasana. If you sat all the way down, draw your right toes up towards the ceiling. Know that it's okay if your left knee left heel is not planted, as long as it feels okay in your knee joint. From your Skandasana, take a peek forward at your right foot to the top of your mat. Take a breath in. And then exhale to side angle. Bend your right knee. Bring your right forearm down to your right quad. Lift your left arm over your head. Maybe your left fingertips reach towards the front of your space to create more side length through your left side body. In your side angle, let's breathe here. We'll set it up a little bit more. Roll your left shoulder back, right shoulder tucks underneath you. Continue to press down through both feet. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in your right knee, lengthen your right arm high, little to no weight in your back hand, and then bend a little bit deeper. Visualize the length through the right side. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to frame your right foot for low lunge. Spin high to the ball of your back toes. Get light through your fingertips. Inhale, chair pose. Step your left foot to meet your right. Arms can reach out, heart center, or overhead. I'm going to choose hands at heart center because my shoulders are quite sore today. But if you'd like a little more challenge through your shoulders, extend your arms up towards the diagonal part, or the diagonal of the room. From here, take an inhale, create length in your spine, maybe sit a little lower. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you, chair with airplane arms. Hug your shoulders down your spine, pull your belly button away from your thighs. Lean your chest forward just a little bit more. And then breathe in, sweep up high, Urdhva Hastasana. Press your hip points forward, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Plant your hands, move through your variation. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Please know you're always welcome to skip that Chaturanga if you'd like to. We'll take that all on the left side. So inhale, three-legged dog, lift your left leg high. Pause here, breathe here. Start to notice if your left toes are pointed down. Drop your left hip down in line with your right. And then point and flex a few times through the left foot. Maybe you circle your ankle around just a few times. On your breath in, lift your left leg a little bit higher. Inhale. And exhale, lizard lunge. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Drop your back knee down to the ground. You can find a block underneath your right palm. Bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh. And then lean back. So pull your chest away from your left leg. Maybe your gaze goes to the back of your space. Breathe. Little moment to check in with yourself. And then plant both hands down to the ground. Shift back, half splits. Round, forward, straighten out-ish through your left leg. Tuck your chin to your chest. Relax through your upper body. A few rounds of breath to feel, to notice. And then we'll shift back forward to lizard lunge. Set your block off to the side if you used it. Plant your hands down to the ground. Inhale, three-legged dog. Guide your left leg high once again. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Tap it in. Shift your shoulders to stack over your wrists. Ooh, so strong. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot in between your hands. Stay lifted off of your back knee. Plant your right hand down. Inhale, revolved side angle. Extend your left arm over your head. Now this time, press your chest closer to your thighs rather than leaning back, and then hug your left inner thigh towards your belly button. Lift your gaze up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. And exhale, open twist. Lift both hands away from the mat. Extend right arm forward, left arm back. Soften your right knee closer to the ground, almost like you're in a double lunge. Lift up through the crown of your head. We hold for an inhale and an exhale. Inhale through center, find Skandasana. Bend your right knee this time, send your hips back. Draw your left toes up towards the ceiling. And again, if you want to come out of this a little bit, you can come into more of a shallow side lunge. If so, just press down, lift up. Take an inhale here. Start to gaze towards your left toes, and then exhale, crawl forward, stay low to the ground, side angle. Left forearm down, right arm lifts over your head. Maybe you extend your top arm all the way towards the front of your space, once again to lengthen out your side body. Breathe here. Roll your left shoulder underneath you, roll your right shoulder back. Your gaze can go up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Keep the bend in your left knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up, reach back. Little to no weight in your right hand. And just so you know, from side angle to reverse warrior, it's just warrior 2 legs. So your legs are gonna stay the exact same from here to here. The only thing that changes is your upper body. Bend a little more into your left knee, breathe in, and exhale to low lunge. Bring your hands down to the mat, spin high to the ball of your back toes. Press down through your left foot, gaze forward. Inhale, Utkatasana chair, sit it low, reach high, or hands come to your heart center. Sit your hips a little lower, hug your inner thighs together. Inhale. Exhale, sweep your hands behind you, lean your chest forward. Inhale, rise up, sweep your arms high, press your hip points forward, and exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, your high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, press it back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. We'll take this breath to movement. Inhale, 3-legged dog, lift your right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right tricep, right into it, tap it in. Inhale, your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step between your hands. Keep your left palm down. Inhale, revolve side angle, extend your right arm high. And then exhale, pull your chest up and away from your thigh, open twist. Inhale, Skandasana, mindful transition here. Bend into your right knee, left knee rather. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach it up and back. Exhale, low lunge, hands frame your right foot. Chair pose, breathe in. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take it or leave it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, tap, left knee, left tricep. Lift the left leg high, inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, revolve side angle. Only thing that changes, left arm lifts. And exhale, open twist, press away from the ground. Inhale, Skandasana to the back of your space. Bend your right knee this time. Exhale, side angle. Left forearm down, right arm reaches high. Inhale, reverse warrior. Low lunge, exhale. Inhale, chair. Exhale, sweep it back. Rise to standing, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, you flow. Maybe hop it back this time. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. We take this one more time. I would love for you to really pay attention to how the poses feel in your body. Again, there's so much more to yoga than just the shapes. Know that you can always change them up. You can always sprinkle something else in or take something out. Advocate for you. Take what you need. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Lift your right leg high. Right tricep, tap. Exhale. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through. Right arm lifts. Inhale, revolve side angle. Exhale, twist. Inhale, Skandasana to the back of your space. Exhale, side angle, lower down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale to chair. Exhale, sweep it back. Rise up, reach up, inhale. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, maybe you flow through a high to low plank, or maybe you skip it. Like me, whatever you choose, inhale upward facing dog if you chose to flow, and exhale downward facing dog. Let's take this on the left. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, tap. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, low lunge. Twist open, revolve side angle, inhale. Exhale, open twist. Inhale, skandasana. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, reach high, press the hip points forward. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Halfway lift, breathe in. Listen for the change here. Exhale, take toe squat. Bring your hands down to a tented shape on your mat. Lift your heels away from the ground and start to sit your hips over your heels. From here, pull your knees away from your chest. Knees will point slightly down. Hug everything into the center. Pull your belly button into your spine. Now you're welcome to place your hands on your pops beside you or focus on balance. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and plant your hands down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Send your feet back. Once you're there, take a big breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Sigh it out. We'll take out some poses and add on some poses. So just listen for some change. On your inhale, take three-legged dog. Lengthen your right leg high. Exhale, right knee to tricep. Maybe your elbows bend slightly, just like you would in a chaturanga. Inhale, three-legged dog. Press your right leg high. And then exhale, flip over. Bring your right foot to plant. Keep your left leg extended. Sit your hips low to the ground. So you're in this seated position. My right elbow is connected to my right knee. My left hand is behind me. On your breath in, start to lift away from the ground. Circle your right arm over your head, wild thing. Press your chest and your hip points high. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant your right hand down to the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right leg high. Tricky transition there. Take your time with it. And then exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Low lunge. Inhale, revolve side angle, lift up. This time, exhale, open twist. Lift your chest away from your thighs. Inhale, exalted crescent lunge. Connect your right hand to the back of your left thigh. Lengthen your left arm over your head. Bend into your right knee. Lift up through your chest. We'll take one full breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot your left toes to face the left side of your space. Tee out your arms. Gaze past your right hand. We'll take a moment here just to arrive. So bend a little more into your right knee. Extend your arms in opposite directions. Take an inhale, lean forward. Exhale, side angle. Breathe. Maybe you stay. Maybe you add in a half bind. Bring your left hand to your lower back. Maybe you add in a full bind by connecting your palms behind you. Continue to pull your left shoulder back and tuck your right shoulder underneath you. We'll stay here for a breath in and a breath out. On your inhale, reach both arms long over your head. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold, pivot to face the left side of your mat. Hinge at your hips. And again, explore the sensation of bent knees. I used to always be like, when I first started practicing physical asanas, taking my asana practice, I would be like, I'm not going to bend my knees. I did gymnastics. I was a dancer. I don't need to bend my knees. I'm flexible. Nah, it feels so good to bend the knees. And really, that does not matter whether the knees are straight, whether the knees are bent, whether you're lifted off of your knees in plank or lowered down to your knees in plank. That's a beautiful thing, right? That our bodies can adjust, that we can take different customizations of these poses to make them more supportive for us rather than trying to force ourselves into a certain shape. From your wide-legged forward fold, shake your head yes and no, get a little bit of relaxation in your jaw. And then go ahead and halfway lift through your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your hands to frame your right foot. Come high to the ball of your back toes. Crawl your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard lunge, but this time you can stay lifted off of your back knee. Keep your hands planted. Take an inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, step your left foot outside of your left hand. We'll sink the hips low to Malasana squat, yogi squat. And I like to hold something. For some reason, holding something keeps that sensation of like I'm gonna fall backwards away. Because personally for me, I have a hard time staying in this shape because I think my ankles are tight or something. So I like to hold something in my hands. If that feels good for you, go ahead, or you could grab something in front of you or reach your arms out in front of you. And then we'll be here just for 2 rounds of breath. In. And then out as it comes. Thanks for being here with me. Set whatever it is off to the side if you're holding on to something. And then forward fold, lift your hips. Tuck your chin to your chest, unroll your spine 1 vertebra at a time. Whew, I'm sweaty. Yeah, it's a powerful practice this morning. Once you're standing, just start to bend your knees a little bit, shake out your shoulders, tap your heels onto the mat, a little bit of wiggles. Yeah, wiggles help us to kind of free up space. They help us to feel a little bit less tense, a little bit less stiff. It's like when you see a dog, when they're playing or when they're scared, they shake it off at the end. Let's just do that. It might feel kind of silly. That's okay. Silly is not a bad thing, right? Kind of tapping back into that primitive, childlike spirit. For 2 more rounds of breath, take what you need. There's no rules here. This is a free space. And then when you're ready, reach your arms over your head, Urdhva Hastasana, come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, option to flow through a Chaturanga Dandasana or downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll take this on the left side. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Lengthen your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Maybe bend your elbows just a little bit. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Lift your left leg high. And then exhale, flip over to a seat. So your left foot will plant, then your hips will, or your sits bones will plant down. Connect your left elbow to your left knee. Keep your right hand planted. Inhale, wild thing. Press the ground away from you. Lift your hips away from the ground. Reach your left arm back towards the front of your space. Take a breath in. And exhale, unflip. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Lift your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through. Keep your right hand planted. Inhale, revolved side angle. Lift your left arm high. Exhale, open twist. Lift off of the ground. Come into exalted crescent lunge. Tap your left fingertips to the back of your right thigh or to your lower back. Lengthen your right arm over your head. Lift up through your chest. Breathe here. If you're like me and your hip flexors are really tight, you can bend your right knee a bit more. And then breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2. Open out through your arms, bend into your left knee. Gaze past your fingertips, relax your shoulders. Breathe in, lengthen forward. Exhale, side angle. Lower your left elbow down this time. You're welcome to stay right here, or we'll build up to a bind. So bring your right hand to your lower back or to the top of your left thigh. This is your half bind. Or full bind, bring your left fingertips to your right hand. Pull the right shoulder back, tuck the left shoulder underneath you. Press the headlights, the hip points forward, so they're pressing towards the right side of your mat. Good. And then inhale, reach both arms over your head, biceps frame your ears. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, hinge at your hips. Now I'm going to pivot to face you, but you stay right where you are. I'll show you a variation that I really love to take. So from your wide-legged forward fold, bend your knees, point your toes to face out, heels to face in, and then bring your forearms or your elbows towards the tops of your knees. Stick your butt back really far so your chest becomes parallel to the ground. And then just hang out right here. You might just be still, or you might sway from side to side. It's a really nice stretch through your hips and your inner thighs. Try to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, the space behind your ears. And we'll take one more breath in. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to pivot back around, but you can stay. On your inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge at the front of your space. And go ahead and crawl your left leg out towards the left side of your mat for lizard lunge. Plant your hands, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, malasana, yogi squat. Sit your hips down. Okay. And if you want to join me, we'll move into a few little frog hops. This is totally optional. I always like to play in different arm balances. We've been working a lot of plank pose, a lot of shoulder strengthening shapes. So if you want to try it on, you're welcome to join me. Otherwise, feel free to chill out in malasana or child's pose, or take another shape that you've been working on. For your frog hops, I like to come from malasana. You might want to walk back a little bit on your mat and then plant your hands in front of you. And what you'll do is just try to hop your feet to your hands. So if you see, my hands are about 2 feet away from my feet. I'm going to just try and hop my feet towards my hands. So it's a little tiny hop into malasana, right? That's the first step. Sometimes it's fun to go to the back of your space, sit low, plant your hands, hop forward all the way to the top of your mat. Yeah? If you want to add on from there, you'll take your frog squat, your malasana squat, and then plant your hands again. And this time, just practice a little lift of the hips, right? So think about keeping your knees tucked into your belly, your core really active, and then just a tiny little lift of the hips, land back down. Lift of the hips, land back down. You want to push down through your hands as you lift, and then land. Try it on if you haven't already. And then once you're done playing with your frog hops, meet me in kneeling on your mat with your hips over your heels. You can always stack 2 blocks and sit onto either your books or your blocks or a pillow to help feel more supported. And I'm personally very out of breath from those frog hops, so let's face the palms up on the top of your thighs. Find a gentle tuck in your chin and draw awareness to your breath, your prana, your life force. And I'm going to talk at you a little bit more while you focus on your breath, because a lot of times we are not in control, right? There's a lot of things that we do on a daily basis that the outcome we can't control, right? What we can control is our breath. For me, if I'm doing something that brings up some anxiety or fear, I come back to the breath, because it's always there, right? It's always there. and it can do so much for us. For example, we'll walk through a little breathing exercise here so you can feel that. And feel free to use this next time you're in a position where you feel really anxious and you want to calm down your nervous system, calm down your body, because that will help you to be more able to advocate for yourself, able to set boundaries, able to learn from those experiences. So while you're on your knees, bring your palms to face up, and then bring one to your belly, one to your heart. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders. Take a big breath in. Heavy breath out. And then inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Another cleansing breath. In, fill all the way up. And exhale, cleanse it away. That's always there for you. Always, always, always. Relax your hands down by your sides. Shift your blocks off and away from your mat. And make your way to a seated position. We'll set up for a supine figure 4. Go ahead and recline down onto your back. And we'll be on our backs for the remainder of our practice today. So feel free to make sure that your blocks or your props are with you if you'd like to use them. And then supine figure 4, bring your right ankle over your left quad. Press your right knee towards the top of your mat. You can stay right here. Our option to bring your hands behind your left thigh and draw your knees closer to your chest. This just creates a little more sensation for me personally in my right outer hip. And then from here, I kind of like to rock from side to side just to notice the differences. And you can close your eyes or focus your gaze on something right above you. Allow your ears to become heavy down towards your mat. Melt any tension out of your forehead. And from your supine figure 4, plant your left foot back down to the mat. Take an inhale, tee out your arms. And then exhale, figure 4 twist. Lower your left outer knee down to the ground. Plant your right foot onto the mat to the left side of your space. Feel your lower body be really heavy. You're welcome to gaze past your right shoulder if you'd like. Bring your knees back through center. Set your right foot down. Give your legs a little march. just to get some blood flow back in. And then left ankle to your right quad, supine figure 4. Take this or lift both feet away from the ground, wrap your hand around your right hamstring. And going back to the idea of using the resources that we have. So I like to think of it as a toolbox. And in my mind's eye, I kind of see these different shapes and these different things that represent what's in my toolbox at all times, what I have with me at all times. And it's breath, right? It's breath. It's also a few yoga poses. There's a few poses that just help me feel really grounded. And once I got past the kind of weirdness about it, I started to do those poses, like if I'm traveling or if I'm at home and there's guests over and I need to move my body. Like, it's only weird to us. You might actually, if you do the breathing exercises in front of someone or if you take the yoga poses, you might notice that you've inspired someone. Let's move into the twist. So lower your knees down to the right side, plant your left foot to the right side of your space. So yeah, for me, it's breath work, some asanas that are easy to get into, and then that shakeout that we did. I just like to sometimes go up into my bedroom and just shake it out, right? If there's something stressful happening, and it only takes like 2 minutes, but it really makes a big difference. And it's these things that we have within us, and oftentimes we're held back from doing them because we think it's going to be weird or people might think we're odd. However, I do believe that the people who support you, if you do these things and they think it's weird or odd, they might at first, right? Because it's different. But then hopefully they realize that this is how you manage your stress. This is how you feel okay to move forward in life, and you have to take them. And just plain and simple. That's advocating for yourself. It takes courage, it takes bravery, and we've all got that inside us. Start to untwist. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then plant your feet down on your mat. We'll move into 2 rounds of bridge pose. Crawl your heels close to your hips. Bring your hands down by your sides. Inhale, bridge pose. Dandasana. Lift your hips away from the ground. Press your hip points towards the ceiling or the sky. Hold and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower. Little moment to set your low back into the mat. Tuck your tailbone down towards your heels. And press into your feet once again. Inhale, bridge pose, lift your hips. Feel free to lift your hips a little higher this time. Walk your shoulders underneath you. Reach for your heels or even interlace your hands at your low back. And we stay lifted for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower back down to the ground. Knock your knees together, walk your feet out wide. Broken bridge pose. Allow your knees to cave in towards the center of your mat. And then draw your feet together to touch. Send your knees out wide, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. You can rest one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or you can bring your hands down by your sides or even over your head. Focus on your breathing. And focus on the impact of your practice today. How did it leave you feeling? Maybe open, strong, ready, calm, grounded. Maybe all of those things and more. Maybe you're tired, exhausted, sweaty. It's all okay. it all is what it is, right? It's the fact that we showed up. We dedicated time to ourselves in order to dedicate time and attention to those around us. No need to label these things as good or bad or tell ourselves that we're not good at yoga, because that's just untrue. You can't really be good or bad at yoga. It's a practice. It's going to be different every single day. So honor the practice. Honor that you showed up, that you stuck with it. And soak it up. Slowly bring your knees together to touch. And maybe march out your feet again, or bring your knees into your chest. Maybe roll over onto your side for fetal pose. And then start to press up to a seated position. You can rock up or you can press over to one side. Once you're seated, ground your sits bones down. Bring your hands onto the tops of your thighs, palms face up or down. And give yourself gratitude. Give yourself love. Give yourself trust. Bring your hands together at your heart center, Anjali Mudra. And draw your thumbs up to your third eye center. And I bow to you. I bow to all of you, all beings. I send you blessings, peace, and gratitude for showing up to your mat, for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate you being here. Feel free to check out any other videos on this channel. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, any feedback, just let me know. My name is Hannah once again. I really appreciate you being here. I wish you a beautiful day or night or week, whatever it is. I'll see you next time.